This one is going to be extra special because it's extra fucked up, isn't it?
Probably. No, but like I've been seeing a lot of arguments about like whether or not you should have multiple wives because of Demon Slayer. Because the fucking ninja has 3 ninja wives.
Okay, we should probably do like an intro or whatever, but
Oh, yeah.
Are you seriously telling me people are debating the merits of polygamy because of a fucking anime?
I mean, this was happening before too, but just not as much. Dude, the ultimate trump card is trap husband.
Fucking excuse you, faggot?
You have no context for that joke. So there's this debate that these people are having, right? About fucking whether or not polygamy was okay or whatever. And it was basically the one argument ended in trap husband is the ultimate spice of life, and the other guy conceded. He is just like, I'm not even debating that. Oh god, it's you need a lot more context, but it was pretty funny. But polygamy is just fine.
I mean, you know, if fucking 6-year-olds are allowed to be trans, then I can get both of those retarded bitches that want to be my wife to fucking marry me at the same time. It's got about the same level of legitimacy.
Well, I mean, like, think of a king, you know? He has multiple wives.
Not usually.
Not anymore. But, like,
Well, no, like even 500 years ago or 1,000 years ago, that... Okay, the Arab kings did that shit.
Yeah.
The African kings did that shit, but, like, the Asian and the European kings didn't do that. You had concubines, which were just fuckholes, and their children had basically no rights.
Yeah, no. But, like, think about it this way. If you have kids with a woman, right? And you're both together. It's just you and your wife. And you have, like, 4 kids, right?
Okay.
It's going to be a bitch to watch all those kids at the exact same time. And
Is that the argument you're trying to go with?
No.
It'd be easier to take care of all the kids, having more bitches around.
Not only would it be easier to take care of all the kids, all of the kids would be able to learn what they're interested in, because each of your wives would have a unique hobby. Maybe not all of them, but like if one of your wives likes to cook, one of your wives likes to fucking, I don't know, I'm trying to think, fucking sew, whatever. Your kids are going to have a lot of outlets to learn from people, you know?
What kind of fucking hentai logic is this?
It's not even hentai logic, it's just like basic logic. Like, I don't know, I feel like the more people you have raising the kids, it's going to be better.
Look, the only way to make polygamy valid is if you're trying to raise an army of child soldiers.
No, because then you would have one wife with the perfect genetics, and then you'd fuck, and then the other wives would be to just raise.
I said child soldiers, not fucking proud warriors. 90% of them are just being pushed into the meat grinder. You should know that.
Wow, fuck. That took a turn that I wasn't even thinking about.
Not literally into the meat grinder.
I know what you mean. Like, I don't care if anybody else knows what you mean. But no, polygamy is just fine. The only problem is when you get into like more than 3 wives, or like 3 wives and then 2 husbands, because that shit's just really weird. That's just too many people. Like 2 or 3 wives is like kind of the max. Like if you have 9 wives, like what the fuck are you doing? Because then like at least half your wives are working too, you know? Like even 3 wives, 1 other wife would have to work at least, unless you've got a fucking really well-paying job. And that's without kids. But yeah, I mean it depends on the context, but polygamy is just fine. It's not morally wrong, like a lot of people try to argue. And in certain cases, it would be worse for the guy to have multiple wives, but that's assuming all of his wives are bitches. Like, if you're just marrying the fucking worst people you can find, that's kind of on you. Then even a regular marriage can be bad. That's why it happens so fucking often. people will be like, you look okay. Let's fucking have children and get married. And then it's like, I actually kind of fucking hate this person. Bunch of fucking idiots. Anyways, polygamy's just fine. Just not too many people.
So you're saying we need to move to a country where polygamy is legal?
No, because I don't really care about doing it. I was just saying it's morally just fine. There's nothing wrong with it.
What exactly brought this on? I wonder.
Oh, nothing. Because I was talking to Bear about it, and Bear was like, yeah, I'd never have more than one wife. And that's what brought this on.
Okay, but I feel like that conversation did not, like, occur between us leaving the sushi place and getting into the car.
Oh, no, it didn't. It happened a few days ago. No, what reminded me was I seen a picture of fucking something on Twitter. Dude, Twitter fucking sucks, but
Twitter
it's
is just more
watch.
proof that California deserves to burn to the ground.
Dude, it's actually fucking hilarious to go on there and watch people get mad about random shit. Dude, this one person got kicked off Twitter because these people were making a fuss because they said fucking the main character of My Hero Academia wasn't gay. Dude, the My Hero fans are so fucking bad.
I have not seen anything about this anime whatsoever, except for like a few out of context clips. But isn't he like into that one chick with the brown hair and the pink outfit?
He's into the gravity chick, yeah. And in the manga, apparently Bakugo goes to a strip club or wants to go to a strip club or something. And they're like, oh man, still gay for some reason. I think it's just them projecting.
I mean, clearly, I have yet to see a fucking My Hero Academia cosplayer that wasn't in some kind of way gay.
I want to disagree with you, but I can't.
Exactly.
My Hero isn't a bad show. It's not a great show.
Its fandom is just utter cringe.
Yeah, it's not a great show like a lot of people say, but it's not bad. It's a pretty decent show. It's just not as good as something like Bleach or Naruto or... I can't really speak to One Piece, because I enjoyed what I've seen of One Piece so far, and I'm only like 60 episodes in or something like that, maybe 70. But like, this fucking... it's like it's like a group of fucking secret agents, like Mr. fucking 1 or Mr. 2, Mr. 5, shit like that. And it's just so fucking boring. Like, one guy's abilities is that he can turn his boogers into bombs and throw them. And one lady, her ability is to just change her weight. And, like, it's just so uninteresting. Like, Zoro, kind of Luffy, and Sanji are interesting. But they get, like, Nami and Usopp get a lot more screen time than Zoro, Luffy, and the other, and Sanji, and, like, what's her name? I don't know, the other chick. I don't like her either, the blue-haired chick, but...
You mean Robin?
No, Robin.
No.
Robin comes in later. I don't know. I haven't gotten to Robin yet.
I don't know.
Yeah, she's like a princess or something. She's not a permanent part of the cast, I don't think.
I don't ever got that far into it.
But I think it's Vivi or something like that. She's got a fucking duck.
I know there's that weird fucking deer dude, Chomper.
No, Chopper. Chopper's cool. I've seen a lot of shit about Chopper. Chopper's cool.
Or Chopper, yeah, whatever.
Oh, so that one song he sings is fire. I can't remember what it is. But it's straight heat. But no, like, just Nami and Usopp are not very interesting. Nami's a lot more interesting than Usopp, but Usopp is just... I fucking hate Usopp. He's so boring, and he's a pussy, and he's a liar, and he lies the entire show, and it's not, like, funny at all. It's just pointless, stupid lies, and then he's a pussy, and it's like, oh man, this would be great if I weren't watching Usopp for 40% of the episodes. I've dropped One Piece 5 times and I'm on episode 70. I'm trying to get through it because a lot of people are arguing about whether he's planetary or not, which I don't really care. I don't think he is because fucking there's a bit of evidence, but I haven't watched it all the way through, so I don't really care. But it's not very good so far. I hear it gets better, but the beginning is pretty strong, minus Usopp. Like, there's the Baratie, the fucking Arlong Park arc. It's just pretty good.
Yeah.
But the beginning of Naruto and the beginning of Bleach are just so much better. Well, because the beginning of Naruto, you have the first episode, which hits pretty strong. And then right from there, it's Team 7 doing shit. And then in Bleach, you have the first episode, which he just fucking kills the Hollow and does all that shit. And then from there on, he runs around and kills Hollows and learns how to control his power. And it's basically the beginning part is about how each of these characters deal with grief and losing their loved ones. Because, like, Ichigo lost his mother, Orihime lost her brother, Chad lost his abuela, and so it's just kind of like that. And then, hell, even Dragon Ball Z has a better start, and Dragon Ball Z's start is pretty slow with Raditz arc. It's not bad, but it's not great either. And then, fucking, the Saiyan Saga is pretty good, and then the Namek Saga is pretty good, and from there on, I'd say it's pretty good. I really like the Buu Saga. I know it's, like, really hit or miss. A lot of people are like, they really enjoy the Buu Saga, or they don't like it. I wish they would have never introduced Super Saiyan 3. It looks kinda cool, but it was completely pointless. They didn't have to do that. Maybe if they would have given it to, like, fucking just Gotenks. But
that could have been interesting.
Like, Gotenks achieves a new form because he's a fusion, and it's like, oh man, his body can endure more.
Right.
But, like, it was pretty much useless, because Gohan was the only one who had Super Saiyan 2. And then in this arc, Super Saiyan 2 just becomes the new Super Saiyan, and then they have to bounce up off of it. It's like,
Well, that's kind of the problem when there comes a point where you basically just have to have an end-all, be-all, or just accept that it's always going to be more and more bullshit.
Yeah, power clipping, I hear ya. Like in Bleach, they go from arguably planetary to universal. There are a few arguments against it, but they're not that strong.
Well, it's like, take the original Star Wars trilogy, right?
Yeah.
In the first movie, you had a space station that could blow up planets in a single blast.
Yeah.
It was fully completed when they went and attacked it. They had to take advantage of a bullshit weakness that they retconned into being an intentional design flaw.
Mm-hmm.
That was, let's be honest, half-assedly protected.
Yeah.
If that was an intentional design thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But then the next upgrade to that we see is the second version of the Death Star, which it's not completed, so we don't even know if it would have the same weakness, or if they'd have been like, okay, we're not going to have that fuck up again.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's not even finished. They have to set up a planetary-based shield generator for it, or I guess technically it's moon-based, but you get what I mean.
Yeah, I hear you.
And then what makes this one all that much more different is it's a little bit bigger. It's like maybe 25-30% bigger. But it's able to charge up the fucking planet-cracking laser in seconds, so they can actually target capital ships with it efficiently.
Yeah.
It doesn't take fucking 7 hours or whatever. You know?
Yeah, I don't know.
And until the sequel trilogy, that was kind of it. Because then you had the prequel trilogy, so you didn't have any of that bullshit. You could make things a bit more fair. without having ridiculous super weapons on that scale.
Yeah, the only thing I know is in the comics, apparently fucking Palpatine moved around star systems. Like with the Force. But the comics are different, so it's like...
The comics just get fucking weird.
Dude, I know Jedi Knights or whatever, the ones that fucking focus on, like... I don't know. I don't know if it's, like, specifically just the sword. The ones with the orange and yellow lightsabers, I don't know which color they have.
It's complicated. But, like, back to what I was talking about, then you get to the sequel trilogy. Movie 1, you have... It at least kind of makes sense in that they've converted a planet into a Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
I mean, not a Star Destroyer, but a Death Star. And that aspect of it at least made sense, but then you made it a fucking shotgun blast, which is like, why? And also, how the fuck does it maintain that? We never get that answer. We never get anything close to an answer on that.
Space bullshit magic.
Exactly, I guess. It's like I don't even know how to describe it, because like the basic story structure of the original Star Wars movies was basically just a combination of Western and samurai with a sci-fi paint job.
Yeah.
Which is why you have swordsmen and gunslingers in space.
Yeah.
You know, take out all the space aliens and add some Mexicans, and the Mos Eisley Cantina could be a bar in some fucking Mexican border town.
Yeah.
You know? But I think they overdid it on the whole metaphor shit, and so then it kind of ruined the other aspects of it, because, you know, the Empire was clearly supposed to be space Nazis.
Yeah.
You can tell that very obviously from the stylistic designs of the officers' uniforms, the types of colors used for things.
Yeah.
You know? And also, it's an easy bad guy to use.
Yeah. And, like, they did it first, so it's not as bad. But, like, now that everybody does it, it's kind of like oh man, more Nazis. You know? Like, any new game that has Nazis as the enemies, and they're not literally Nazis, it's kind of like, oh man, more Nazis. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, when it's actually
like,
Nazis,
what
you're
flavor
dealing
of
with
space Nazis do we have this week? You know, like you got the Helghast from Killzone, except they kind of fucked that up, because if you look in the backstory, the Helgans did nothing wrong because it was all retaliatory.
Yeah.
Like, their planet used to be normal and habitable, and then the Vectans fucked them hard. No lube, right there in the dirt. You know what I mean? Like, that's why the fucking Helghast troopers always had the gas masks. It's because they had to fucking mutate themselves so they could survive on their new home planet that they're trapped on, and they can't breathe normal atmosphere anymore. If they try to, it kills them. And so, I mean, yeah, they were harsh, but, you know, they actually had a point.
Yeah.
You know? And then, let's see, what's another faction that's basically the Nazis in space? What else? You know, it's hard to think of a lot of other ones because they don't actually make the right analogies to it. They just do, oh, this uniform kind of looks like what the Nazis would have looked like if they went to space. You know?
Yeah.
And then all the other times it's like the Wolfenstein games where they just kind of make them Saturday morning cartoon villains. They make them impossibly evil, which is stupid. Especially since that's really just a side effect of, that's really just a problem with the new Colossus. Because, like, you play the New Order, you play the Old Blood, and, like, you've got, like, the big boss characters, and yeah, they're actually just evil. then you like hear the regular ones talking to each other, and they're Germans, but you know, they're still people.
Yeah.
But it's like you play the new Colossus, and every single Nazi soldier is just an irredeemable evil bastard of a human being.
Yeah.
And it's like, calm down.
Yeah, sometimes that's okay, like when you have an actual like character who's evil for the sake of being evil, or they enjoy it. Sometimes that can be interesting. But
It's one thing if it's like one character or a handful of characters. It's another thing when you have somehow managed to create an entire civilization of these, and yet somehow they don't all just murder each other in a power struggle.
yeah. But unless it's like specifically what it's about, making the main antagonist just explicitly evil for the sake of being evil usually makes the story a lot less interesting than it could be. Because, like, usually you should give your villain motivation or something along those lines. Not even motivation, just like something that they're trying to accomplish, and not just like, oh man, I want to destroy the world because I'm evil. Like, it's okay for kids shows, but when you're an adult, there's almost nobody you know that explicitly does things because it's like, oh, I'm evil. And there's like nobody who even does things explicitly like, oh man, I'm just a good person, so I do this.
No.
Usually there's some kind of
Generally,
like,
you do things because you like how you feel afterwards.
exactly.
But it's never on so specific a cut.
Exactly.
And then, of course, there's also other reasons, too. You know?
Yeah. But, like, sometimes it actually is interesting to just have, like, a purely good or purely evil character, like Superman. Or, trying to think, like, Palpatine is pure evil. But he still has motivations and shit.
Well, yeah, he wants to be in charge of shit. He wants to succeed. Although, it is funny when you see people, like, try and analyze, like, the Jedi and the Sith and not understand that the Sith are just actually wrong.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to look, they either don't want to or just outright don't end up doing like the necessary background information on the Jedi to understand the difference between Jedi philosophy and how lazy the Jedi that we see in the prequel trilogy got.
Yeah.
Because it's not the same.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Apparently there's a good side of the Force lightning. And I believe Plo Koon used it. The orange guy.
Yeah. I don't remember that. That's some extended universe shit that I haven't looked at. But, well, I mean, I kind of know what you're talking about because I got one of those stupid Jedi manual handbook things. I mostly just got it because it's got like notes in the margins from all the characters that are supposed to have read it. I thought, well, it'll at least be interesting. And the thing is, if the Force is just like a neutral non-entity, like if it's just a psychic resource basically, then yeah, the Sith would kind of have a point because, you know, stunting the emotional growth of human beings is a bad thing.
Yeah.
We've seen what happens when you do that to children. We've seen the monsters they grow up into.
Yeah.
But that's not the case. It's a living thing.
Yeah.
Like, the problem with the Jedi Temple is they got complacent because they hadn't had to deal with the Sith Lord for like 1,000 fucking years.
Yeah.
Or some shit. You know?
Yeah. Oh, dude, that makes me think about how mad people get when you tell them that Kylo Ren is stronger than Darth Vader. Oh, dude, people get irate.
I know.
Because he is, but it's bullshit.
Yeah, it's
kind of it's kind of like the reason Rey's the strongest Jedi. It's just stupid bullshit. It's like, oh man, I'm strong because look at me, I have powers now.
Yeah, it's...
Oh man, I use Force Lightning.
Rey and Kylo have powers for the same reason that, like, action figures have extra powers.
Exactly.
It's because the child fucking playing with it behind the scenes just wanted to one-up their buddy so they could win the imaginary fight.
Yeah.
It's not for any actual serious reason.
Yeah, it's like when you and your brother are playing finger guns and you're like, I dodged it.
Yeah.
Like if they were
And it's because despite how much the actors and actresses and the crew building the sets and doing the cinematography, despite how much all those people gave a shit, the directors and the writers didn't.
No.
And that's really the problem.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That, like, yeah, it's retarded, and I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah, I hear ya.
But I will say this, it gives yet another example of why California sucks and doesn't deserve to exist.
Yep.
As I mean, California is not the only liberal hellhole. It's not even the only liberal hellhole in America. But its existence for the past fucking... Let's see, it's 2022. For the last 60 years now, has just been a complete drain on humanity.
Yeah. Jesus fucking. Fucking hell. Why are
What?
gas prices up again?
Yeah. Thanks, Joe, you selfish fucking kitty diddler.
Bastards.
There's no good reason for gas to cost fucking $3 a gallon anywhere.
Exactly. It'd be one thing if I didn't know that they were just dumping gas in random places for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
It'd be one thing if I didn't know that.
Well, it's like the whole thing about gas prices way back was the cost of it had more to do with, you know, refining the petroleum into gasoline or diesel or jet fuel, you know? The three
Yeah.
things that we fucking make out of it all the time. And that mattered because, you know, that was where the actual cost came from. We've gotten so efficient, and there's such an abundance of petroleum in various forms under the surface of the earth that there's no reason not to focus on that until we can actually make other things viable.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, electric cars is something that we should be considering, you know.
But I mean, like...
But until we can actually make batteries that can hold enough of a charge to fucking pull that shit off, or if people can stop being fucking candy asses and just let nuclear be a thing,
Exactly.
it's not gonna work.
Nuclear should just have been a thing a long-ass time ago. I guess not a long-ass time ago.
Well, I mean, for fuck's sake, of the, like, 4 nuclear disasters, only one of them has been as bad as people thought it would be, and that was Chernobyl.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because there was also the 3 Mile Island incident at the 3 Mile Island nuclear reactor in upstate New York, where they lost control of the reaction, and then the safety equipment that they had installed in it shut the reactor down, and nothing else happened. So it wasn't really a disaster. There was a power outage that happened because of it, and that was it. And then the Fukushima reactor, I mean, yeah, that wasn't great, but, you know, who the fuck thought it was a good idea to build a nuclear reactor on a volcanic island in the Ring of Fire? Yeah, let me just not lock my fucking Bentley and park it in the hood with the keys in the ignition. That's not going to get stolen at all.
That's just part of living in a big city. One time I found a pocket knife in there. Sometimes you find neat little things. So, like, it's good your car was broken into.
Man,
That
the
was a
Jew and
fucking
Seth
joke.
Rogen was going to come out eventually. I don't know why we're all surprised by it.
Dude, Seth Rogen's a bitch. Fuck you, Seth Rogen. I doubt he'll ever see it, but I hope he does. Just so that he can hear that.
Just to ruin his fucking day. Fuck yourself.